All right, what's up, guys? It is Coach Steven. Today we're going to be building my own training program. So we have 3 weeks of training that I need to get programmed for myself, and we're gonna go ahead and just go ahead and do that, not live, I guess, but recorded for you all. And I think I want to try to build this into a series, so then also maybe even into a live stream if something you all would be interested in, kind of helping me build it, or at least maybe ask questions of why I chose to do certain things in my program. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. So, quick outline of the program. And we're also building this with Turnkey Coach. That is how I coach all my clients online and then program for my in person clients as well. And then also use it for myself. But we are doing a conjugate type program, and that's kind of the main way and basis of my training. It's not a perfect training program or perfect conjugate system how I use it, especially that I go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Definitely not ideal sometimes, but it works for now. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get into it. So for our max effort lower, the first day we're going to do is a safety bar box squat at 16 inches. Again, this is going to be working up to a 1 RM. Okay, right here. And it's going to take within 5 to 7 sets. We're going to work up to that 1 rep max. Is the idea there. Then I've been really liking the safety bar good mornings and good mornings in general. I feel like it's been helping. We're going to do that 3 sets of 5 at RPE 9. We'll actually do that 3 to 4. Now, again, reasoning behind the good mornings is to continue building the low back strength, hips, glutes, all of those good things that we need to be super strong and powerful. Next, we'll be doing razor curls. Again, these are slightly different from GHD, but Stephen Thompson at Voodoo Power, check him out. He's a great podcast. Showed me these. He calls them GHRs. I'm going to call them a slightly different name, just so when I also program it for my athletes, they are not confused. But we're going to call these razor curls, and we can just simply quickly create a new exercise, which I can link a video later on. Here, 4 sets of 15, and we're going to probably go, we'll just keep it as an RPE 9 because we'll probably end up doing a loaded. Good for the hamstrings there. Then we'll hit reverse hyper, like so. We'll go 4 sets, probably 20 reps, and 320 for our weight there, I believe should be correct. I would have to double check to make sure based off my loading, which we may do in just a moment. Next, we will be probably doing some sled drags here. Actually, I'm going to say scratch that. We'll do belted marches this day. Go 2 sets, 2 minutes, and we'll go 135 to 160. Okay, so I think this will be my program for this day. Again, primarily working on that that posterior chain. And then we have the box squat, good mornings, razor curl, reverse hyper, belted march. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements. I actually do need to throw in an upper back exercise in here. We might be able to superset that with the reverse hyper, which I've been liking the superset because I'm usually constrained on my time to train. So adding in a superset here and there has been really good. For this one, I'm trying to think what I've really been liking. I've actually been liking the seated cleans, seated dumbbell cleans for my rear delts and rotator cuff lately. So I'm going to keep those in high reps. We'll go 15 to 20 perhaps. See what happens there. For metrics, going to go weight. And then also let's do, I'm going to be cool with weight actually. Just making sure I'm keeping body weight okay. So that'll be my max effort lower. Moving back to my max effort upper, we ended up doing close grip 4 board last week, but we should have been on 2 boards. So we'll go ahead and just resume that. So we will go ahead and add in 2 board press right here, 5 to 7, 1 RM, or that should be 1 RM. So for the 2 board press, again, I'm kind of just doing something where I work down in boards. We go from 3 board, 2 board, 1 board. I'll either do a raw all the way to my chest, or I'll go ahead and just get into the bencher. Again, I am in an equipped powerlifting right now, and plan to for quite some time. So I'll also be in the gear on the SSB box squat, because I'm feeling pretty good. I did do a 1 rep max full squat the other day, did 465. If you guys seen that video, check it out. But anyway, we'll go ahead and move on here. I have been really trying to grind out my overhead press, so we're going to keep that in and keep that to, I'm going to go down to a 4x4 because I've been running 5x5s, but just kind of working it down, getting more weight in my hands, I think is what I want to do there. Then we're going to go into a lot of the tricep, back, and abs, which I'll probably need to, I might end up going back and adding some abs to this as well. Again, biggest thing is just making sure I complete everything in time. But we'll go ahead and do a tricep here, which triceps have been kind of funky for me lately because of my right elbow. So some of these things have been doing really, really well, but I think I still am liking the rolling dumbbell extensions. So we're going to stick with those. Now we'll go 4 sets, 15, 15, and then RPE 9. Actually, we do 35. Oops. Should go 35 for weight. There we go. And then for the rows, I think what I'm going to try to do is do a chest supported cable row. So we've never actually done one of these, it looks like. And the way that I'm going to do this is probably not going to be the most comfortable now that I'm thinking about it, because our setup at the gym is a little bit weird, but we will figure it out regardless. So we're not going to have any of that. We'll go 4 sets. We're going to go 8 to 12 here, and then RP 9. Here we're going to do more rear delt. We'll probably go from chest supported cable row into maybe just some face pulls. I've been liking the cable face pull setup that I have, so that's banded. Cable, maybe. Face pull. Good. And from that, we'll go 4 sets. 20. 9. Again, not too sure about the weight. And I'm going to go ahead and, just so we have room to progress throughout the cycle, start those out at 3 sets. Then let's do some abs. We're going to do some hanging the ups. That's what we'll do. We'll go AMRAP, RP 9. I'm actually going to go 10 on that, and then if I can do more, I'll maybe add some ankle weights or things like that. So that will be our upper body day. 3, 4, 5, 6 movements. Same thing, we'll add weight for our metric to track throughout. Now we have our dynamic effort lower, and I'm actually going to do this cycle raw to work on more of my raw strength and technique and getting through with my hips more. Again, I was at Voodoo Power, Stephen Thompson's the other day, and he was helping me squat, and it ended up showing some pretty cool things. So we're going to keep that up, and we're going to go speed squat. We'll just call it SSB box squat. And now the only thing difference what we're going to do here is we're going to go 12 and 2, and then we're going to actually do VBT here. And we're going to go to 0.6 meters per second. And with this, we're going to find a 0.6 meters per second weight. Don't increase until 0.8 is the average. And then we'll kind of slow it back down, maybe by adding chains or bands or something like that. Then we're going deadlift. We'll actually do sumo deadlift, sorry. Sumo deadlift. And I'm thinking I am just going to do a cycle of raw in general. So we're going to go a 10 by or an 8 by 1, and then we're not going to worry about speed here. We are just going to be trying to pull at a certain weight for a certain amount of speed in general. But we're not going to use like a percent or a velocity. And that's just for the fact of kind of just trying to go off more by feel, making sure things are moving well. Again, if it's moving slow, we'll go down. I know that's not super scientific, but that's what I'm going for here because I'm kind of switching up my deadlift technique a little bit. So kind of just taking the constraints off a little bit. Next, again, this will be a very high volume day in general, so we don't need to go do anything crazy stupid here, but we will be doing some more upper back, of course, which we'll go do some rear delt flies with the dumbbells. 4 sets of 15, and we'll just do RP 9. I'm sure I'll end up using the 20s or 25s. Here, then we'll also go do and put in some more hamstring work, which we'll just go banded hamstring curl here. 4 sets of 20, 5 RP. We'll actually just go 0 there. And then what we'll do is also do some sled work. So sled drags. So we'll do 10 trips. Unfortunately, it's not letting me. This is what I actually needed to fix the other day. So let me do this in front of you, make this a resistance training workout. And then we need to do 60 yards. It's odd. That is odd. Yeah. Sorry about this, guys. Unfortunately, it's not letting me pick the. It's odd. There we go. Yards. There we go. Cool. So then we'll finish off with some slide drags. Again, we might also do some lighter ones to before, just kind of depending on what's going on. But this will be a higher volume day in general, and I like to put in the sleds as well. And this will most likely be a 50-50 split between forward and reverse sled drags. And then a repetition upper day, and this is the day that I've been using a lot of accommodating resistance along with my more higher volume bench press, and I've actually really enjoyed it. So I think this day I've really been enjoying the chain, so that's something I want to continue doing, but I am still unsure of what I actually have wanted to do. I've been thinking about it, but I can't really decide. So for now, I am just going to do bench press versus 2 chains. And I know this isn't perfect for you all, except we will probably get into that the day of. Maybe I'll either do a close grip variation or something similar. Again, it'll all just kind of depend on how I'm feeling and whatnot on that aspect of things. But on this, I've honestly really been just enjoying a simple 5x5 and weight. We're just going to put at an RPE 9 at the moment. And then the day of, we can always look back at my history if I've done this before, which I have, and then try to beat that. Next, here I've been doing, again, just really hammering out the press. We'll stick with a 4x4, just trying to almost like a linear way, just trying to beat that. Then we'll go down to here, triceps, of course. We'll do overhead, where was it, dumbbell tricep extensions right here. And same thing like I said on the other day. We'll go 3 sets of 15, RPE 9. Then we need some back work. We'll go chin-ups. Chin up. And this one we're going to do 10 sets of 2. And this will be kind of like in every 30 seconds. So nearly kind of like an EMOM basically, but you're going to do 2 reps, wait 30 seconds, do 2 reps, wait 30 seconds. So 2 reps, 30-second rest, 2 more. All right, and we're just going to go body weight on that. Okay, and then we will do some more specific on the back, and we're just going to do band pull aparts on this. We'll go 4 sets, 100, 0, and we're also going to do a little bit of single arm tricep extensions, 4 sets, 25, 0 weight technically. I don't really like to track the band volume. And then we will also be doing weight for a metric and then an ab right here, which I've been doing the GHD sit-ups. We'll do this. We'll go 4 sets, 10 reps. And we'll go RP 9 for now, but we're most likely going to be holding a med ball and taking an emphasis on our abs and not our hip flexors when we're thinking about curling ourselves up. Now, what I would want to go back and do is add a couple things here. I want to add some abs here. We're going to go banded side bends here. 4 sets, 20 reps. We can just superset those. Should be fine. And then I also want to add an ab over here, which will be GHD rotations. Right here, and we'll go 4 sets, 8 reps each side, and then RPE 9. So this will be the first week. Now, I'm going to keep most of these things the same, but we will go ahead and just kind of finish this out. Week 2 being copied over, perfect. And we're really just going to change a couple things here, nothing crazy. But we are also about a little over halfway through of my time, so I am almost done here. This day we'll probably do some type of, I'm going to do a deficit deadlift right here for 1RM, and then we're going to probably follow that up with a 14-inch box squat. And actually, this is what we're going to do here. We're going to keep the safety bar, but we're actually not going to do, I'm just going to put safety bar box squat right here. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. What I really want to do here is a very low box squat, getting into deeper ranges of motion both through the deficit deadlift. This will be conventional right here, which that's why it just says deadlift and not sumo. I can't spell. Here we go. But I want to do a low box squat, but I don't know for sure what I want to do yet. So we might do SSB. I'm just going to put SSB low box squat for now. And I think my mouse may have just died. There we go. The low box squat. And we'll go 3x5 here. Yes, so I'm going to put a quick note. So start with 14-inch, work down if possible. So ideally, we're trying to get down to a 12-inch box, I think, on this, but we'll start with the 14 to see how we're feeling, just to begin with there. For here, I'll probably end up just progressing weight and then maybe volume on the last one. Same thing with some of these, but this is the plan here. And now that I'm thinking about this dynamic lower day, I am going to switch these banded hamstring curls to reverse hyper. I cannot spell. 25 and 320. 3 sets there. Okay, and I do need to replace that on the top one as well. Now, again, this is more for worrying about my low back, keeping it healthy, and I didn't really think about it as I was building. I think just the fact that I'm doing the video right now has me going a little faster than I normally am when I'm programming, but not a super difficult fix. We'll go ahead and finish through the program, and I'll make some of the finishing touches later on. But then for this one right here, we'll do a one board press like that. Everything else will stay the same, except we will bump this up to 4, like so. This will stay relatively the same. Both sides will go 10. This will be 6. Actually, we'll leave that at 8. And then bent over drill drill, this stuff will all stay the same there. Bench press first 2 chains, probably leave that the same. We actually will switch that to close grip. I did not do close grip first 2 chains. There we go. Press will stay in. We'll switch that to 4. And then be good there. Perfect. And then we'll do the final week here, which I want to end up putting in the cambered bar. Log squat right here. 16-inch there. So hopefully that recognizes. There we go. And then we have SSB Good Morning. I will be switching it up for now. Again, generally this is not so super planned out. I usually end up, and this will be subject to change, and I'll probably do a video of me really, going through each of these lifts like I have been. So if that ends up being subject to change, again, this is just an idea. Biggest part is squat or deadlift for your main movement, and it may be a good morning or something like that. But I actually will end up doing, now I'm thinking about it, the cambered bar good mornings. I actually have not done this quite yet. And we'll keep it 3 to 4 of 5 reps again. And everything else will stay the same, except I'll probably bump those up. Perfect. 2 board press will go down to bench press. We'll go probably raw. Okay. Raw. Unless I'm feeling really good and want to get in the shirt, we'll kind of decipher how we feel or geared. Okay. That'll be the biggest change there. And then we're trying to, we do need to make sure that's at 4. We'll probably just up the weight on that one. Then we'll do here, we'll go down to 10, leave that at 8 there. And then banded hamstring curl needs to be reverse hyper. Again, we're thinking about the volume, what it'll all add up to versus the weight in the sets and the reps. Bench versus 2 chains. Again, we'll see how that feels. We'll just leave that for now. Everything else to keep that at 4. It's the biggest change. And then should be good. And then what I am going to do, so let's add a set to this every week to have some type of progression. Cool. Okay. So that is building my next 3 weeks of training. Again, I might end up, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, just throwing in some arms and things like that I didn't hit or feel like I could hit more of. If you guys have any questions about the training or what you would do different or need any help with training, you can just subscribe, keep watching, and message me probably on Instagram is my best place to get to me if you need any help. So if you need anything, let me know, and see you all later. Bye.